So I just wanted to one more time reinforce this idea of, if you want to change anything about yourself, you must change your identity. You must create a new identity to go with that change. If you're trying to get rid of the anxiety, if you're trying to, oh, I no longer have this anxiety, instead have this new belief, I have this new emotion, that's my new self of, oh, I love talking to people. I can talk with anyone, I can connect with anyone, I enjoy it. I love that thing, and I feel confident, I feel safe, I feel excited in social situations instead of fearful and anxious. In order to create that, that must become your new identity. Like, that's so important. I can't even stress how important that is. So if you're going about it as, oh, like I have social anxiety, so I'm trying to get rid of social anxiety, but then when you talk to people, it's like, oh yeah, like there's this course that's really helping me get rid of my social anxiety, or oh yeah, my social anxiety has been a lot better. Like, no, from now on, I don't have social anxiety. Like, oh, I used to have social anxiety. Like, now I'm free. Now I love talking to people. That's just how my life is. So instead of like, oh, how can I figure these things out how can I figure this out so that I'm not so scared talking to people anymore? Instead, it's like, no, like, I'm not scared to talk to people. If the anxiety gets triggered, it's like, oh, great, that's my past self. I unwire it, like, boom, oh, like, oh, cool, awesome, yeah, I'm so scared, great, awesome. I love talking to people. And just, like, that is your new identity, and that is so, so, so important. Like, there have been so many times in my life when I've been trying to change something, but I'm changing it as in I'm trying to change something instead of just, oh, it's already been changed. Like, this is just the new identity that I have for myself, my new reality. And it doesn't work at all. But the times when it works so much, like, for example, with the social thing, I went from being super shy, super awkward, whatever, to like loving being social. And that's just the most fun thing in the world now, that people are like, dang, David, you talk more than like anyone I know. Like, someone just said that to me the other day. And I loved it because, yeah, that's my new identity now. Now I'm a super social person. That's just who I am. So now when the concept of like, oh, someone being shy or something awkward comes up, like, it doesn't even occur to me. It doesn't, like, I don't even think about it or relate with it, because it's like, that's like, oh, shy people, cool. Like, that's not me. Instead of like, oh, shy people, oh yeah, I'm shy. How did you get over it? Oh yeah, I don't want to be shy anymore. Instead it's like, shy, like, oh dang, yeah, like, oh shoot, I hope they get, like, it's like, that's not me anymore. So you have to change your identity. And even if it doesn't seem like that's your new identity, like, in every moment there's a new moment. And every moment, instead of, oh, I have to change my past, or oh, I have to change this thing, it's like, this new moment is an opportunity for a new reality. This new moment is an opportunity for a new identity. In this new moment, this new moment right now that is different than 10 seconds ago, I can choose to be someone new. And just by choosing that, like, that's now who I am. And that is how you change. Like, now in this moment, I choose to be someone new. And that's just all there is to it. I'm like, a final decision. Cut off all other options. Cut off everything else. A total final decision. Burn the boats of anything else. And like, that is just who I am now, that I love talking to people. Or that is just who I am now, that I have total confidence that my loved ones are going to be safe. Like, that's just who I am now. So when someone talks about, oh, like, how's your anxiety been? Like, oh, are you still, fearing those things? It's like, fearing what? Like, oh yeah, I did used to worry about that. Like, oh no, like, that's not part of my life anymore. I'm good. Like, that is when you will truly change. That is when you will truly have the power to shift your life and to rewire yourself, is when you make it that total final decision of, this is my new identity. This is just my new reality. Instead of, oh, how can I change it? How can I get this thing? If you're always like reaching and stretching for, oh, I want this thing, I want to change this thing, then you're always going to be stretching for it. And it's always going to be evading you, compared to if it's like, I have that thing. Like, I know, yeah, maybe it hasn't seemed like I have it, but I have that thing. And anything that says otherwise, my past self, just old anxious lies, I don't need that anymore. Boom, gone. Like, I choose something new. And that is just like the biggest thing. You have to change your identity. That is so powerful. It has helped me so much in my life, that there be times with, like, for example, in basketball or with my business or different things, where I've just been really struggling and been stagnant. And then the moment I'm like, shoot, so here's a good example. I was doing sales for this company just to make some money and pay for college and stuff. So I was doing door-to-door sales, and at the start, I was just struggling, just super struggling, because in my head, like, salesmen were bad or whatever. So because I was selling, I was like, oh, like, I don't want to be that good at it, because, it's like, it's salesman, whatever. Like, no, I'll just stick to basketball, because at the time I was, training up for that. So I was like, no, I'm a basketball player, and sales, like, yeah, I kind of do it, but like, I don't have to be good at sales. I'm good at basketball. So my identity was, I'm not a salesman. I don't care about sales. Like, I'm not a salesman, and I'm not a great salesman. It doesn't matter if I am. But then I remember at one point, it hit me, and I was like, no, if I'm going to be doing this, I'm going to go all in. Like, that's the type of person I am. If I'm doing something, I want to be the best at it. And so I was like, no, from now on, I'm the best salesman here. Like, who cares that I'd sold like two accounts the entire like first month or month and a half or something, and one of them was to my family, so, and the other one canceled. So yeah, there you go. It was bad. But then I made this decision, and once I decided, like, no, this is my new identity, and I did, what we'll talk about more in the future of like creating a new habit and a new skill that goes along with that. Once I made that decision, like, this is my identity. From now on, I'm the best salesman on the team from now on. That's my identity. I'm a salesman. I'm a skillful and amazing salesman. Just like that, I switched to then, and I still wasn't the best on team, but because I believe that, I started passing people. Like, I was like the very bottom. And then after that, I started passing and climbing and passing people. And I ended up selling like way more accounts. I don't even remember, but it was like, I sold probably, 35 accounts in the amount of time I sold like 2, and like in the equal amount, just because I switched my identity. I worked like a little bit more time, but it still wasn't, it's not like I was doing that many more hours or doing anything else that different. It's not like, oh, I learned these amazing new skills and tactics and things. It was literally just, that was my identity. So then going into the sell, I approached it differently. It's like, I'm a baller salesman. So like, yeah, people will buy from me. So it just like shifted everything. Just that identity shift, it changed everything. And I've had that so many times with different things with anxiety, where it's like, I'm struggling with anxiety. And so I'm like, no, like, I don't have anxiety about this. I am free from anxiety. I just love this thing. I'm just confident this way. I'm just safe and free in this way. That's just who I am. Like, I don't care what anything else says. That is my identity. And that is when I've had the greatest breakthroughs. That's when I've had, like, when you make that final decision of changing your identity, that's when you can have results in a moment, because you choose a new identity, which identity brings everything else with it. So all your thoughts, perspectives, everything will start to go along with that new identity when you're final with your decision of, that is who I am now. In this new moment, I'm this new person with this new reality. That's when you can have results, like massive results in just a week, or just a day, or an hour, or whatever it is, a few weeks, compared to when people try to get you to change. And this is why a lot of people don't have success, because they're trying to change, but it's from the same identity, and so they're trying to do different things and think differently and do different, whatever, while staying the same person. Well, guess what? If you're the same person, then you're not really going to change. You have to change who you are as a person. So change your identity, change that belief about yourself, and then all those other things about you will just start to naturally change. Instead of like, oh, I want to watch less TV, oh, I want to eat less sugar. Instead, it's like, I'm an athlete, so of course I don't eat sugar. I don't want to eat sugar. I'm an athlete. Like, I don't, I'm going to master my body. That's just who I am. Or like, instead of, oh, like, I shouldn't watch more this TV, like, oh, I should watch less. Oh, but I keep watching, oh, I should watch less. So it's like, no, like, I am an entrepreneur. Like, I am a hardworking person. I am a totally disciplined person. So I don't even want to watch TV, because that's not who I am. That's my past self. Or like, whatever it is, when anything with anxiety or whatever. Like, identity is so powerful. So just remember that with everything you do. It's such a powerful tool, and just like such a crucial part of this whole process.